have a different notion of all y'all. I say via revolution, go back to Mexico and have your prison held accountable and start implementing a new democracy in Mexico instead of coming here waving your flag, which is un-American, unpatriotic, and basically it's
just like nationality.
But you can't sit back and put your flag on American ground and claim our land.
The Black Tea Party.
What companies are doing is they're actually bringing in the illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
They're making them work, and then they're not paying them for 3 weeks, and they're shipping them back. They're having them back down to immigration.
Yeah.
So the problem is the jobs that should be going to Americans and getting stable work, which if they were doing that, they could keep the costs higher because they weren't getting outsourced and the labor wasn't being worth less.
Why are we racing to the bottom, though?
So that's also a problem. But the thing is it's terrible that these people are being treated this way.
Yeah.
But it's also terrible that they can be that this can happen.
Yeah.
And tighter regulations is going to prevent this from being able to happen.
Okay, but we say that it's terrible that it's happening to them, but they're still here. They decide to take the job, and we don't know how bad their situation was before they came here.
But okay.
Okay, and let me just say one more thing too.
Go.
It's still they're illegal. I've heard a lot of people say, well, they're undocumented. I said, no, they're illegal aliens that have come to California, and now they're being treated like slave labor. And that is wrong.
I agree
These are
with you.
good people who probably just
Absolutely.
want an opportunity of freedom. But you have to go about it the right way. You have to go about it the right way. Recently, last weekend, I was at the Huntington Park City Council meeting regarding the 2 illegal immigrants that want to work voluntarily for the city. The problem with it is that they're illegal, and they want to represent a city, and they're illegal.
My problem with that argument, though, is that I believe if somebody's going to do something for their city like that, I believe if somebody is going to take that responsibility on themselves and they are a benefiting member of community, there should be systems in place that they can become citizens easier than what's going on.
Those systems are for American people. Those systems are not for illegal people.
Sure.
There were people at this city council meeting. Let me just finish. There were people at the city council meeting that were outraged. I was outraged, and they told me to go back to Africa.
Well,
as I sat in the meeting. And then I sat in the meeting and they spoke in Spanish and English. And I said, hold on. If this is a city council meeting, I like to know what that person has to say. They said, I needed to go get an American translator to speak English and put the headsets on. So that way I can understand what they're saying.
Well,
I mean, so if this is how no, it's not fine because you're in America.
We all come from somewhere else.
No, I'm not from somewhere else.
No,
I'm
but
from America.
Not everyone's from America.
I
went to court this week to take care of a ticket, and there was an Armenian Armenian translator, there was a Spanish translator, there was a Vietnamese translator.
Then they should have translated for them into English.
Well, they did in this case.
No,
I'm saying
they twisted this. They had the translator translate for Spanish to English. If the person's going to speak Spanish, then let an English translator, let them speak to the English translator, and let the English person speak before the committee.
I'm not arguing that it's wrong to have them in that position. But my argument is that it's wrong that there aren't systems that could have made them citizens before they got to that point. The thing I believe, America is built on immigration.
There are systems that are in
all
place.
immigrants, guys.
But
all of us.
The problem is...
I'm a Chateau slave, not really so much.
The problem is that America was built on immigrants. So for us to completely cut off immigration and things like that, and to completely...
we're not saying that we want to cut off immigration.
No, I know, but let me finish the thought.
All right.
It's hypocritical of us to decide that we're going to ship all these people back and close off the borders and things like that, and not change our policies on how people can become citizens.
Okay, that's a whole different issue. Well, I'm not talking about shipping anybody back. I'm saying dealing with 2 illegal immigrants. I want to answer his question. Right. 2 illegal immigrants who have come here and are asking for a leadership position to oversee some position in the city. And when the city council is saying yes, and the people and the constituents in the city and the community as a whole are outraged, I have an issue with that. As far as becoming legal in America, there are systems that people are backed up and paying attorneys to come here the right way, and yet we're glorifying and giving validation to people who come here the wrong way. That is not American.
But you just highlighted the biggest problem. We haven't changed our immigration system since the 50s. That's the problem. Like what Jeb Bush talks about with an E-Verify. Over in Europe, you still have to get a passport and get a visa in order to go work from France to Germany. You know how long that visa takes? A week. Most 90% of the illegal immigrants, everyone talks about, they come during seasons when it's farm, like, and 90% of them go back to Mexico. They have a different credit system than us. They're taking the money so that they can put down payments on houses and stuff just because of the way their credit system works. 90% of them go back. We need an easier system. We obviously want the labor. We obviously, if we're too lazy to do it, they're willing to do the work. They have a reason to do it. It extends foreign policy with Mexico. We can get leverage more on the cartel and be able to work with Mexico.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I'm just saying the first thing we have to do is what Donald Trump said. We have to build a wall. And
the
then
wall's not going to work.
The wall will work, because once you put a wall up, then you can deal with the issues that you have.
The reason
you have to set a foundation first of, let's put this wall up. Otherwise, if you keep doing like President Obama and everybody, keep coming illegally, obviously their country doesn't want them.
You know what's better than a wall? You know what's better than a wall? If you put up, let's say you put up a wall. Let's say you put up centers every 5, 10 miles down, or wherever you need to have them, that are education centers that welcome people in and teach them about how our country works. Teach them about taxes.
I agree with that.
Teach them about how jobs work.
I agree with that.
And once you go through that program, you can come into the United States and you work, and you can have a work visa. But the problem is even if there's a wall, they're going to find a way to get around it. Yep. Then they're going to be in here uneducated on how our country works, and they're not going to be paying taxes.
Well, it's a structure that we need to have in place. That goes back to what you said earlier with, your friends and the jobs. It's this whole issue of entitlement, because once they get here, then they manipulate their way into the system, illegal Social Security numbers. Then they say, well, I got a Social Security number. I'll use dead people's Social Security number, or whatever it takes, and it makes them feel empowered. Look, I have a different notion than all y'all. I say via revolution, go back to Mexico and have your president held accountable and start implementing a new democracy in Mexico instead of coming here waving your flag, which is un-American, unpatriotic, and basically it's
just like nationality.
But you can't sit back and put your flag on American ground and claim our land. Because that's like a terrorist
technically
attack.
We took their land. So
we didn't technically take anything.
Yeah, we took it.
I totally disagree with that. I mean,
that's just history.
It doesn't matter, because honestly,
it's a long time ago.
Wars are how land was taken.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wars are how land was taken. That's how things were done then. That's how things will probably be done 1,000 years in the future once we have the new apocalyptic society, whatever it is. But the thing is, I have absolutely no problem with even 100, 1,000, 1,500 people coming from Mexico, coming into our states and working. The problem is that they should be competing for jobs with Americans, and if the income should be the same and should be based on whether you're hired for the job. It should not be, because I can pay you under the table, I'm going to hire you.
It takes 5 years for those visas to go
exactly.
through sometime.
Right.
So it's like,
so we all have to agree that the system is whack. There is a system.
Totally
but you agree there is a system.
Yeah. It's
and
all
the system is messed up.
Yeah.
And it does need to be fixed. And I think that's what we need to do first, versus saying kick everyone out. I think we have to fix the system. We need to put up a wall, and we need to vote for Donald Trump.
Donald Trump's not the answer.
Featuring weekly discussions on political news and current affairs. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to